Tiernan, how's it going? You're a stalwart figure in Connacht now, so how did you cope with that long pre-season? You've done a lot of them, but that one seemed to go on forever.
It did. But I think, in fairness, it's not to say we didn't get enough time off. Like, we still actually got nearly 6 weeks off. So, personally, I feel like 6 weeks is a long time as a professional athlete to have off. It's very easy if you get longer than that to kind of go down a bit of a slippery slope, and especially some of the bigger lads, they like to eat well on off season as well. So I think, honestly, I think it was pretty good to get that time off. I think it was badly needed after a big season last season. But like you said, it was a long pre-season, so I think, we had time to get our heads around it. We came back, but we did have a break in the middle of that pre-season, which was good for us. We got a full week off there. Which was important to kind of break it up a small bit. But yeah, I think we got some really good work done, obviously with new coaches coming in, new backs coach, obviously new defence coach. There was a lot of stuff we needed to learn, and there's been a lot of changes, so we probably needed a lot of that time as well to adapt, to change, because a lot of our structures, a lot of our attack play is a lot different from last season. So I think it's taken a while. It's still growing. We're not 100% there, but we're getting there. There's a lot of good work going in, but I think we're in a good place. I think physically, fitness-wise, everyone's in a good spot. So it'll be a continuous work on for us, but I think it was good.
It's a good performance on Saturday. There was a lot in that game, particularly the middle 20 minutes and the 20 minutes directly after half-time. They turned the screw and you were down to 14 men for 10 minutes of that, and the defence held well, and then you hit them very hard after the break.
Yeah, it did. I think we definitely got a bit of a wake up call in that second 20 minutes, and obviously Pete had some stern words for us at half time, because it was something we spoke about, was that if we give away back-to-back penalties against a team like Glasgow, they'll punish you. And then obviously with their scouts on the referee and things as well, we knew the yellow cards were a possibility. So kind of, I suppose, exactly what we previewed happened to us. So I suppose in a way that it was probably good for us. It wasn't a surprise. We knew our backs were against the wall there at half time. Pete obviously gave us a few fix-ups, so I think we responded well to that. We held on to the ball a bit better after half time. And we kind of tried to keep as much possession as we could, because we knew Glasgow were a possession side. And you could see that with the ball and play time, it was very high. So I think there's a couple of times a lot of us were blown as well. But it was a good performance. I think all around defensively, I thought our connections were very good, our contacts were very good. Our breakdown did well. It was physical. The forwards made a lot of tackles. Like 40 in the centre was his physicality was through the roof with his tackles. So I think that was important. We kind of tried to take away from their strengths, and it worked out for us in the end. I know they scored towards the end, but I thought defensively we put in a good performance.
Does some of that ability to make the fix come from what you did last season when you had to win a lot of games? That you're handling pressure now that in the past maybe Connacht would have been under even more pressure in those phases, but you were able to fix it and come out firing straight after half time. Yeah,
and that's definitely been a focus in pre-season as well, reflecting on those games from last season and over the past couple of seasons, where if we concede a penalty, it could go 5, 6, 7, get a yellow card, and then we just lose our heads. We're chasing shadows, and then we're out of the game. But we found a way, I think, as a group to stick together. Our leaders are very good at just getting lads in, saying the right things, and just keep everyone focused on whatever we need to do for, if there's somebody in the bin, for those 10 minutes, to just keep ourselves in that game and give ourselves a chance. And then once we're back to 15 or whatever it may be, that we can fire those shots and get back in the lead. So I think there's just a really good balance of leadership and then experience, and then there's those younger guys that bring that flair and energy as well. So I just think we're in a good spot at the moment with that, and it's something we just need to continuously work on, continuously talk about as a group, coaches and players, and bring that into the games.
Thank you.
Tiernan, is it 14 or 15 years since you arrived here?
15. It's my 15th season anyway.
15th season.
Yeah.
What do you account for your longevity?
There's some days you wake up and you're like, am I still able to go? We're getting out of bed. To be honest, it's funny how I didn't really feel like, it turned very quickly how I was a young guy, and then all of a sudden you look around and like, all right, now I'm the older guy. But I think it's just, you don't think about it too much. You just kind of approach every season. Like you said, going into a long pre-season, that's your next focus, is those 12, 13 weeks. And then obviously it's week on week then for a game. So I try and not look at a bigger picture, whether you're signing a 1 year contract or a 2 year contract. I very much have always focused on the short term. And I think that's the best way I've got through, because I've had some tough injuries that I've had to get through. And that's probably the hardest part of it all, is those times when you are injured and it can feel a bit lonely, it can feel pretty tough to get out of, and it can be a bit dark at times, trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I guess. But I think it's important. Like, we've got a great, I don't know, it feels like a brotherhood here, where it's just really important. We always stick together. We've always got each other's backs, and we kind of lean on each other a lot. And I think that's part of it as well. It makes you look forward to coming into training every day, and I think that's a big part of it. I've always been excited to come in here, and I think the day I don't get excited to come in here is the day I won't be playing rugby anymore. But I suppose, again, it all comes down at the end of the day as well physically. So physically you have to prep your body. Everything's got to be there as well. So thankfully I haven't had any terrible injuries that I haven't been able to get back from, and that's thanks to the great medical staff here as well. So it's just a balance, I suppose, mentally being in the right place and physically trying to get your body prepped for every season as well.